Okay, so good evening, all of you, and welcome to the Vaidya's Chess Hub. And we are in a mood to start with a game on leeches. By the way, we will try to play a good slow game. And if the game is done very early, well, then I will probably switch to playing some tactics. I hope that people have joined well and truly on time. The people who are probably just joining us. Hello, Granth. Hello, Pratik. Welcome. So let us head to Leeches in the lobby. Let's see if we have a good game here. 20 plus 8. Nah, that's too long. 20 plus 8. Let's go to quick pairing. 15 plus 10. Uh, I remember last time we did try this 30 minute game. 30 minute. Okay, let's try that. But it's plus 0. So we have to be mindful of the fact that we are not going to get any incremental seconds here. Vihang has also joined us. Hello. Ankit Banerjee. Hello. Welcome. And we have the game. Great. So we are playing with the white pieces. Our opponent has played e4, e5. And now we are going to go with our favorite, which is the Danish gambit. The idea of the Danish gambit is that you sacrifice this pawn. I'm going to offer c3. Then I'm going to play bishop c4 and offering the pawn on c3 as well. Finally, I'm going to take on b2. That's what I intend to do when it's the Danish gambit. So I'm hoping that he will capture. He has not done so. So he is probably someone who thinks that it's not wise to take on the Danish gambit accepted line. So this is going to be interesting, very interesting. So we have someone who doesn't want the Danish gambit accepted line. I'm sure you're already excited. Very nice. Hello Yatharth, they're joining in. Hello, I believe this is Gorbole. Yes, then this is I believe Yatharth Shinde. Yes, so they are apologizing that they are late. They joined a little late. No problem. We just started, and now the options that we have are that we go for e5, scaring the knight away, and then capturing on d4, or we can capture on d4. Well, there is another line where bishop d3 is played, and anyway we will keep on to our promise of giving him the pawn back. Since he has not accepted the gambit. Well, these two options are looking great. I don't want to take here, and definitely I don't want to take with the queen and allow him the tempo knight c6. So bishop d3 is a choice that I have, and also I could push the pawn scaring the knight maybe to d5 and then taking with the queen. Well, that could be a good option. If I push the pawn, there is always this queen e2, but after that I can play queen e7 and I can play queen e2, and then the knight has to move. Interesting choices. We are not in any rush at all because it's a 30 plus 0 game. Again, juniors should learn that time is at hand. Anyway, this is a surprise session for us. We normally don't meet on Tuesdays, but there was time at hand today, so consider it as bonus. So let us try something aggressive, is it not? This is always good. I want to play something aggressive here. So I intend to keep my gambit promise. I want him to take on c3 because I was ready to give him the pawn on c3. So he is not taking it. He is adamant on not taking it. Well, now I will take because I've now got two good pawns in the center. I want my knight to f3, of course, and I will castle the next move. Things are looking great here. No problems for white, and black has also avoided very nicely the accepted lines. Let us challenge this bishop one time so that there's no back rank issue for later. So as expected, he just extended the pin, and now I think maybe I'll go knight bd2 and maybe get the bishop fianchettoed. If I don't want that, well then I should play bishop e3 first and then play knight bd2. It's up to me. I can't play queen b3 right now attacking b7 because then this will completely bust open my king on the g file here. So let's go bishop e3, solidify this d4 pawn and then go knight b d7. Well, I'm not worried about this because the bishop has taken care of it. Now my queen is free to move. He wants the bishop. Well, at the moment things are pretty much under control. I will go all the way back here. This is always a good square to go retreat when you have a knight. So therefore I have kept the control and now I'm definitely going to kick the knight out. I don't want this knight in my territory. The knight has gone back and now I can claim my d3 position again. However, I could play queen c2 here. That looks very tempting indeed. Yep, I will do that. Queen c2 looks very tempting, and I'm sure that if our opponent, if he is as hasty as he's playing so far, well, it looks like he is hasty. It looks like I've challenged his knight, and I'll wait for him to move his knight. And he probably, if he's a hasty player, he is going to move the knight. There is no doubt in my mind. And once he does that, this is checkmate. Oh, so he understood the plan. Good. None of that hasty stuff. I like that. I like that. So he is attentive. Very interesting. Now I'm going to set up another trap sort of. He has to exchange. He better do that. Let's go queen b3. Now the threat is not actually taking on b7. The threat is actually to take on, he's given a free piece here. I want everybody to enjoy this. The reason I went queen b3 is not for this b7 pawn. The real threat was to pin the pawn on f7, which is protecting this bishop on g6. So now I can take this bishop on g6. Guys, I'm sure you enjoyed that. Well, this is the power of thinking. Our opponent is more on time. But guess what? Time is not the only thing to consider. So now I have won a piece here. And do I go for bishop? The pawn is pinned, but I think it's time for us to safeguard the bishop. If he would have played knight here to attack the queen, I would have gone to a2, still keeping the pin and not letting him take my bishop. If he takes my bishop, well, I'll take with the f pawn and my rook will be free to join the attack. Okay, so what's up, guys? Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you enjoying the tactic here? Queen b3 was a very nice tactic. It's a very nice thing to understand in chess about how to use your time. Very important. And I'm saying this, that these mistakes are so common. Look at the rating of our opponent. I'm sure that you see it on your screens. He is 1914. That's quite some rating. 1914, and we are 1935 in this classical time control. So you have to understand that there is definitely an element of time control. Now we are attacking this twice, but the main threat is that the queen is under attack. So we cannot take it with the queen. The knight has total control. Well, we could definitely go queen c3 and challenge that knight. And if the knight moves, then again I wonder if we can take on b7. Let's see if we have any other better move. Again, I'm encouraging you to think. Okay, very important. Think. Using time is important. I've seen youngsters, they just go for the moves and they simply play without any plan. And here is a line I want to share with you. Let me come on cam for that. There's such an important line. This failing to plan is planning to fail. Again, what did I just say? What did I just say? I said failing to plan is planning to fail. Very important. If you are playing, if you want to play good chess, it's important that you have a plan in mind. The time you're playing a 30-minute game, why would you want to be a piece down? Why would you want to rush into your moves? So another thing you can take from this is that you should only play chess when you have time at hand, like I am doing right now. I had time today, so I agreed that we will have a game session. It's very important you follow these things. And now we have 23 minutes to finish him off. Our queen is under attack, obviously, so we are going to have to move the queen. The question is queen c3 better, or do we want to line up the queen and the bishop on c2? But there's not going to be a checkmate here. The king will of course have some squares to go. The only advantage I see here is that after queen c3 I'm attacking the knight, and therefore the threat is knight takes e5. This pawn here on e5 is hanging, guys. So if I play queen c3, I'm attacking the knight plus attacking the e5 pawn, and after queen c3 if he goes knight c6 to defend it, I might sacrifice my bishop and then go knight takes e5. So I'm going to do just that. Let's see what our opponent and how our opponent responds to that. The threats are very simple. As I said, I'm attacking the knight and I'm attacking the e5 pawn. So there is no way he can save both. Can he save both? No, I don't think so. Had this move been possible, then yes, but there is bishop here. So queen d5 is not possible. That could have supported both in one move. And I think this will be a great move because it will further put additional pressure on f7. This knight will sit pretty. I like that. We are 5 minutes behind time compared to our opponent. But as you can clearly see, the position matters. The point of knight c6 is that if he plays knight c6, I will first take the knight, then he has to take back, and then I will play knight takes e5. Well, that's the refutation for knight c6. Sure, you're enjoying this. Okay, what did he do here? So he has protected the knight by a discovered support. Got to notice such things, guys. His pawn was on c7. So he has now acquired a supporter for this knight. But of course, as I said, this is definitely hanging. Now it is up to us whether we want to take with the pawn or with the knight. But of course, I'm really happy to take with the knight. Does he have any other threat? If he takes here, I have this adequately covered. I don't think there is anything to worry, so I am going to take on e5. You should notice such things, that there was an acquired support after he played c5. These are small things, guys, but I'm sure that you actually understand the importance. The support is so important. And now he has played the move f5, and I'm not a big fan of what he has just played. The reason is very simple. This pawn, first of all, is hanging. I'm attacking it twice and he's defended it only once. That's one reason. And the other is that this diagonal is so poorly exposed now. His king is all but exposed. How? What's the use of early castling? The question now is, do we want to take with the rook or do we want to take with the bishop? Bishop is better. Let's consider whether bishop or rook. I think bishop is a little better here. Bishop d5 check will be a blunder. Queen will, oh sorry, not there. The queen will just take. This was an extraordinary, this will be an extraordinary blunder. Bishop d5, queen will just take our bishop. We don't want to lose our free bishop. So I guess taking with the bishop will make more sense. Let's do that. because after that we have this bishop e6 check, then knight can go to f7, threatening the fork if king goes to h8 after that check. Mind you, he has a lot of time at hand, but somehow our opponent looks a little impatient. I'm going to look into his statistics now. As far as rapid is concerned, is not bad. Is 1840. His rapid rating is one. Blitz rating is 1410, and well, he plays correspondence chess. That's 1563. He's from Italy. I hope our dear opponent is safe from COVID-19 there. He's from Italy, guys. He's from Italy. One of the top 10 countries to be affected. So now what has he played? He's taken here on d4 and he's attacking our queen. Another thing I keep telling my students is you always have to register opponent's last move. Now what did our opponent play just now? Our opponent has attacked the queen. Register that. Don't just go ahead and play your moves. So now the question is, do we go e takes d4 or do we go queen takes d4 inviting the exchange? I will not want the exchange right now because we have got pieces ready to attack. And in fact, not essential to take immediately because I have this bishop e6 check and I only wonder where the king will go. He will not block it. Of course, that would be a blunder. And if he goes king h8, well, then there is all kind of threats. See, we have knight g6 fork, we have knight f7 fork, winning the rook. Well, we'll see. So bishop e6 check. I'm so tempted to give this check first. I'm not going to take the pawn first. Initiative and tempo. I have used this word so many times, my students know it for sure. Initiative and tempo, guys. So our opponent has gone king g7 and that's exactly along the queen's diagonal. And I'm sure you know why he played this, because any other move, and if he, let's say, would have gone king g h8, then knight g6 check was a fork. And now we have to deal with this because our queen is attacked. I guess taking with the pawn makes sense because after I push the pawn, there is always discovered checkmate threat. The rooks protect each other. By the way, this is called connecting the rooks. I want you to understand this. This is called connecting the rooks. Who is down on time? We are down on time by a solid 7 minutes, guys. A solid 7 minutes. But guess what? That doesn't matter. It's enough to finish off. So that's how I encourage you should play. Now there are so many things we could do here. But first of all, I could play knight e4. I'm so tempted to attack this bishop. I don't want to make this sacrifice immediately because rook can take. Of course, the point is that if the queen takes, this knight on a4 is hanging. The queen is the only supporter for this knight. So you don't want that exactly right now. There is another move in mind, which is knight to d7 attacking the bishop, protected by our bishop. But somehow knight e4 brings another piece into the attack. So why not do that? I have this one covered with the queen. So that's not so much of a threat. Let's do that. Knight e4 is bringing our piece into the attack. Well, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces aiming at the black king. Now this is what we say in chess. The activity is so important, guys, in chess. The activity of your pieces. So important. So our opponent here has played queen b6. And well, he's challenging this bishop. So we have a simple looking, where the pawn is also pinned. I cannot protect the bishop with the pawn push. The pawn is pinned. But the point really is, do I care? Do I really care about it? The question is, I could take here. There are so many things I could do. Taking and then give a check. We are already a piece up, mind you. Already we are a piece up. Is there a way of attacking the queen? Well, yes, there is. But then if I move the knight, bishop and queen both will be attacking the pawn. You got to be mindful of such things. What will happen if we do this and he takes our bishop? Then we could attack the queen. Yeah, sure, that looks good. And the discovered check is on, plus this knight is always hanging. We have to remember, guys, this knight is always hanging. And this check here is not so deadly. There are many places for our king. So I am going to take the bishop. If he wants to take our bishop, his knight will be hanging. The pawn will be free to move after the queen moves. And there is a discovered threat along this diagonal. We are already a piece up. I'm not worried about the things right now. If I do this, look how chess is, guys. If I push this pawn, suddenly I will have a discovered supporter for this knight. And the queen cannot take the knight because I'll take the queen. And the queen is attacked, so rook takes knight immediately is not possible. However, if I play this and he gives the check, well, then what do we do? Do we have enough places to go? Should we just take this knight? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I will still go ahead and play aggressive. However, let me tell you that I have this check right now. Yes, and it does look powerful, but it will be even better if we can provide a double check. Because then the queen could also check, the knight could also check, and queen g7 could be checkmate. So let's do this. I hope that queen is attacked, and that's probably what he's thinking, giving a check. That's the only move he has. That's, I think, perfect. The question is, do we want to block the check? No, we don't want to block the check. If he takes the rook, I can of course take. And mind you, if he takes, I think I'm winning the queen here. I'm waiting. He will take with the queen. And the point now is that this knight is hanging. We are leading by a pawn here. We have a check and a fork. We cannot go here. I'm tempted. All these moves are just awesome. So he has to go back somewhere. Queen, we can take this. He will take this. I think check is always the better option here. I'll tell you why. First of all, it protects the knight, maintains the attack, and we are controlling g7. So he has to go to the back rank. Cannot block the check because I'll take with the queen. All sorts of attack. Let's see what happens now. We are leading by a pawn here. I wonder, we played aggressively. We did not hold on to the lead, surely. And now the thing is, we could play aggressive chess here. What could we play here? We could play something attacking the knight, the queen that is. Or maybe we take here. There are so many awesome moves. A lot of awesome moves. Mind you, this actually traps the knight, does it? No, he has knight b3 after that. Yeah, he has knight b3 after that. So can we go with the knight here and then threaten knight h6 check or something like that? Looks aggressive, guys. Now we have to use our time. We have already conceded only +1 lead now. So, do we go knight g4? And the way to protect his knight, I suppose, is he'll play queen b6. And after that, I believe we no need to exchange the queens. We have a very good passer. Excellent passer, in fact. I think if we challenge the queen this way, it is much better, is it not? Because then he cannot go queen b6 and we are still attacking the knight. What if he just comes with this queen pinning the knight? Does that work? I guess not. All kinds of possibilities are there. If we take the knight, he just takes the knight. That will be a very simple position. I don't want to play something like that. If I play b4, the knight has to go to b3. I so would have loved our rook to come straight away into the attack. That can happen after this and queen b6. But where do we go with the queen? That's the main thing. But I'm convinced that knight g4 probably looks better. Now we have half the time that our opponent has, guys. The problem with knight d7 was that he could go with the queen on e7 and probably pin and attack the knight more. I didn't quite like that. So this one looks okay. And this pawn is a monster. It's a very good passer. We'll have to back that with the rook. I will be very happy to play rook f1 here. And if I can somehow get knight h6 check, world good. The king is super safe. We're not worried about that. His rook is yet to come in the game. So our rook as well. And now I believe it's for the first time that our opponent actually is thinking. I like that. I don't think so far he just, played with proper thoughts. He just was playing instinctively. So maybe he's wondering what to do with the queen. This pawn, mighty passer, with the rook backing it, with the queen there, with the knight. There are all sorts of possibilities. The knight also looks so concretely placed here, and this knight is really not doing much. We are +1, and in the worst case scenario, after we exchange the queens, will be +2. This pawn is ours after the exchange of queens. So we have the lead of +2 pawns at least. That's why probably that has motivated him to think about what he wants to do. Queen takes b2. I have knight takes h6 check, which is not looking great. Let me explain that. If he had played queen takes b2, well, then I would have played knight takes h6 check, and with support, if he would have gone to king f8, would be mate. So you have to be appreciative of these things. So now, as expected, we have this check. Now we can win another pawn in a very nice way. Knight takes h6 check, queen takes h6, and then take this knight. That's another possible option. Otherwise, the better idea is cover up the b2 pawn and centralize the queen, after which this check is just awesome, and bring the rook in the game. We can bring the rook in the game, yes, because he cannot take an immediate opposition after this move queen to e5. After we take and he takes, well, yes, he will have a very bad pawn structure. Agreed, we will win this pawn, but, well, not enough. So I guess queen e5 is probably better. Probably, going by my instincts. Now we can push the pawn and cut off the support on h6. The idea is if I push this d6, we will cut the support for this h6 pawn. That's one of my intentions. Bhargav is late, so heavenly late. Now I think we should proceed with that idea. We should do that. Now the idea is that the support for this h6 pawn has been cut off, and this check is looking very dangerous, guys. Knight takes h6, and I believe this is really good for us. Two more steps for our pawn to queen, bring it to glory. d6 pawn push, just cutting off. This is nice. We are, again, I say that we have half the time. We have half the time that our opponent has. 20 minutes, we have 10 minutes. But I believe 10 minutes are enough. Remember, we don't have increment. This is 30 plus 0 game. But now, these YouTube lectures should bring out one thing in your play, guys. The love for slow games. I'm sure you love bullet games where you really play fast, but I'm sure after watching such games on YouTube, listening to the plans and everything, I have no doubt that you realize that the slow games teach us so much. I hope that you have registered my point. And now what has he done? He's attacking our queen, but am I interested in the queen? What happens if I give him a check first and he blocks it with the rook, and then I hit him with another check, winning the rook? If I give him a check, he goes in the corner. I'll take the pawn, give a check. He goes here, I give him another check. There are so many possible options of winning this game now. What if I play this check? He goes here. No, is it checkmate? No. Knight takes h6, yes. King h7. Well, then I will play this check. No, I cannot do that. There is knight. Knight takes h6, king h7. Doesn't look great. So queen e6 check does look great. But try to look at the follow-up line. Enjoy this. We have 9 minutes, guys. Enjoy this. This is what chess is. So what happens now? Queen e6 check. If he blocks it with the rook, then we have this awesome knight h6 check and winning the rook. There will be two attackers. So let's calculate. Queen e6 check. Then if he plays g7, then we have queen takes h6 check with the knight. Well, all sort of winning combinations. And anytime he comes on the f file, we have this rook f1 check joining the attack. The queen is now completely away from the king's support. This is the diagram I want you to study, how the pieces are far away and doing nothing. Yes, so I hope that you are registering all these points. So I guess queen e6 check is powerful. I am going to proceed with that. I am sure if he doesn't think much, he will block it with rook f7 check, seldom realizing that this knight takes h6. Ooh, h6 check is just awesome. Ooh, so he has understood that. So now what are our options? We have queen takes h6 check, king g8, knight check. Well, of course, if queen h6 check, he comes on the f file, we have rook f1 check. All sort of attacks. I'm tempted. 1914. Guys, he has 20 minutes. We have 7 minutes. That's how you should play. Use your time. Well, queen e7 check, of course, would be a blunder. Yeah, taking on h6 looks better. If he goes here, he's in for a world of pain, because he will just allow us to play all sort of rook moves. He's gone back. So is there a definite calculation until checkmate? Do we have a checkmate here? Queen g6, king h8 is forced. And I'm saying forced. There is no other option. Knight f6 check. Then he has king f7. Maybe queen takes g5 check first. Let's eliminate that. Ooh, queen takes g5 check. That looks great, guys. This pawn is for us. Well, there is no way to block the check. So queen takes g5 check. Why not that? Why not queen takes g5 check? Queen takes g5 check is good. Looks good, really. By the way, I want to accept one thing here, that we were leading by 4 points, and we then gave back the piece for better activity and became only +1. I am sure that you understood that. Somewhere in the middle game, we were +4, but we remained only +1. So that was there. But I did that for activity. So queen takes g5 looks like that's the best move, because then that opens up the possibilities of knight h6 as well. Instead of just going with this and then pushing the king around, let's look at this. Queen g6 check, forced king h8. Well, that is forced, by the way. Force is force. And then if we set up this checkmate, how does he stop that? That's interesting, guys. Let's look at this one. If I play queen g6 check, king h8 is forced, and then if I play knight f6, how does he stop queen h7 checkmate? How does he stop queen h7 checkmate? So instead of taking g5, why not go for this line? So I have two options, queen g6 and also taking on g5. My point is, after queen g6 check, king h8 is forced, and then if I play knight to f6, how does he stop the h7 mate? He has to give the rook. He has to give the rook, and then he has to give the rook with the check. That's the main thing. So is it good? Then we can bring the rook, or is just queen takes g5? What are the lines? Queen takes g5. He cannot come here for sure because he will lose the rook. We have 4 minutes. I'm tempted to go with queen takes g5 because I don't want to make sure that he just gets away with a sacrifice. That's not done. Let's finish. Now we have a pawn, and do we have, we can play knight to f6 now. No, let's go for this check because then king g8 again is forced. Otherwise, we are just taking the rook. Sure, right? Well, this is really interesting. What if you play knight f6 now? Still threatening mate. So he sacrifices the rook, and that was the idea. But after that, we don't have something that forces the issue. We just can go h8, g8, h8, g8. We don't want that to happen for sure. What is it that we can do? Okay, let's try to give a check here. G8 is forced now. That's for sure. G8 is forced. There is no doubting that. Okay. And now can I play some move that buys me time? Can I play rook e1 here just to win some time, or get rid of the rook, win the exchange? Shall I bring the rook into the game? Because he has no check, guys. He has no check. And he doesn't have this move to bring his queen into the game. Our pawn is taking care of everything. Except that he probably has this. I don't want his queen to come in the game. Surely. OMG, right? Lot to think. Now we are down to 2 minutes and there is no incremental time control. Of course, we have a draw here now. So those who love draw, this is a draw for you. Queen g6 check, king h6 check, king h8, g8, h8, g8. Those are his only options. But we don't want a draw. That's the thing. We don't want a draw. He has definitely got this queen d4 trying to come into the game. So I don't want that to happen. I'm so tempted to. I've made a pre-move here. He doesn't have a check, and that's the best part. I'm focusing on the passer now with the threat of rook f1 now. Our opponent must be wondering why he's taking so long. But I'm giving a lecture. Probably our opponent doesn't know that. Okay, so I quite don't understand this move. I am definitely going to go for this particular rook setup, because clearly I don't see any way he's going to come in the game. In fact, he has taken away the only square his queen had. Now there are all kinds of threats. If the queen moves to some other square, I have the knight. I don't care if he takes on b2. Not even my concern here. The threat is quite simple. Queen g6, king h8 and rook f8 is mate. Again, queen g6 check, king h8 and rook f8 is mate. That is my threat, guys. I repeat, queen g6 check. There is rook here, so king cannot go here. So queen g6 check, king h8 and rook f8. Guys, our opponent has 18 minutes on the clock. And we have 1 minute. 1 minute. But we have regained our lead. We are +5. The youngsters, the juniors, the B batch guys, look at the threat again. Queen g6 check, king h8, rook f8 checkmate. That's the threat. That's why I wanted the rook on f1 all the time. This rook and this queen battery is awesome. There are all kinds of checkmate. Calculate this. Queen f8 check, king to h7, rook f7 check, king g7, king g6, queen g7 is also checkmate. Again, queen f8 check, king h7. Ooh, did he understand that? Did he understand that? Is it checkmate? Did he understand that? No, he did not understand that. How does he stop it now? Queen check, forced move, and rook f8 is checkmate. So this shows why this is amazing. After queen g6 check, now he should resign. The psychology says that he should resign because he should see this simple continuation. He's 1914 rated, guys. His rating is 1914. No, he is not resigned. Ha! He's not resigned. OMG. Now here is what I like doing. Some players, they don't checkmate quickly. So they wait until the time comes to 1 second. They make our opponent wait. So are we going to make him wait for another minute? Are we going to use, do you want us to make him wait for a minute, or do you just want us to finish? We will finish him. There's no point making him wait. So checkmate and a nice victory for us. Absolutely brilliant. Let me know if you liked it. Now our opponent wants to play one more game, but we have 15 minutes in hand and we are not going to play another game. So I'm going to cancel that offer, but we are not going to stop immediately. We will utilize this time to do tactics, all of you. By the way, how many points did we get, guys? We got 16 points. So now my rating is 1951. That's quite some rating. We got 16 points. Okay, so let's go ahead and do tactics. Let me pull up the chat window now. I had disabled the chat because I was playing a game, guys. That's not fair to have the chat on, but now we are going to do the tactics. So now I will have the chat on. So let me pull up the chat window, and there you go. Nice. Now you can tell me how your thoughts about the game. However, I will meanwhile get ready and set up for the leeches for our tactics, and I will log out. As usual, the point is that we will learn with arrows. I will give you options and you tell me what's the best arrow. The right arrow. And let us use what color theme should we use? I think we'll go for the classic leeches theme. Just bear with me, I'm setting up, managing the settings for our tactics, okay? So I am ready now, and here you go. This is white to play. White to play, and I'm going to give you your arrows. In this case, is it better for me to play the green arrow, or is it better for me to play the blue arrow? Is it better for me to play the red arrow and take the pawn, or is it good for me to play this golden arrow? So you have your options. Seniors, wait until the time runs out. You will have 2 minutes. I'm going to start the countdown timer. There you go. Your time has started. When it's under a minute, I will pull up the chat as well. What do you think, guys? I hope you are giving it a thought. I'm going to pull up the chat window as soon as it is below 1 minute. It is now under a minute, and so I am going to pull up the chat window to allow you to see what your friends are sharing. Here is what your friends are sharing. Blue arrow. Some people are saying golden arrow. And now when the time becomes 0, only then the seniors, you should share your line. Okay. The seniors, 3 seconds, and the time is up now. So seniors can now type their lines. I'm waiting for you as usual. Then I will definitely share the answer. So there you have the seniors commenting. Vihang is saying queen d8 check, king b7, rook d7 is checkmate. So did you all see the checkmate? Those who said blue arrow, did you see the checkmate? What had Yatharth Shinde to say? He said blue arrow and he did spot the checkmate. Very good, Yatharth. Okay, so let me come on cam now to share with you what actually was correct. And the winner, the seniors are the winner, guys, no doubt about it. It's the blue arrow. Definitely the blue arrow guys are the winners. I'm going to show you how and why is the blue arrow, why is blue arrow the best. Let me go ahead and show you on the board. What happens is that I play the blue arrow. The first move is king b7, cannot go to b6 because, well, let me use the same color arrow. Blue was right? So what happens is that the king could not have gone to b6 because of the queen, and now the queen has b6 covered, so rook d7 will actually be checkmate. So hearty congratulations to guys who said blue arrow. Wonderful. So let's proceed to the next position. Okay, so this one is black to play. I will cancel this white to play mark. It is black to play. Look at the position. Both have got queens, a rook, but white has two rooks. So we are an exchange down. That's what you call. We are an exchange down, but white's king is not looking super safe. So what are the options? Should I play the green arrow? Should I play the red arrow? Should I play the golden arrow? Or should I play, what's the color remaining? The blue. Or should I play... what else can I play? Should I play this one? Okay. Guys, let me know. And your countdown timer. I will be with you. You have a minute and 15 seconds before I pull up the chat so that you can see what your friends think. And people want me to give shout outs. Bunch of lions, this is for you. Let me come after some time on camera to actually properly welcome you. And my chess students would probably wonder, bunch of lions? Well, there's a bit of a history there. Don't worry about it, my chess students. It's under a minute. Time for me to pull up the chat window. So what are our friends saying? Well, we have all sorts of answer. Blue arrow, green arrow. Well, now we have a gold arrow as well. What's up, guys? All cannot be the answers. There's only one possible answer. Wait for your seniors now, because you have last 10 seconds. Seniors, keep your answers ready. Which arrow works? Okay. The time is up. The seniors, please share with us. Okay, seniors are saying, what are they saying? Blue is the best. Jay is saying rook f5 check, king e3, and queen takes f2 is mate. But Jay, what if after rook f5 check he goes king g4? There's king g4 as well. Seniors, we hung things. Rook f5 check, king e2, queen takes f2, king d1. What? King d1? Oh yeah, king d1 is a possibility, and then queen d2 is checkmate. But what if after rook f5 check there is king g4? Then what happens? Queen g2 checkmate. Is it check or checkmate, Ankit Banerjee? Is it check or checkmate? What happens then? That's interesting. But nonetheless, let me come on cam and give a shout out for my English students who are here enjoying chess with me as well. Before I tell you the winner, let me come on cam and here I go. A warm welcome to all my English students. Bunch of lions, welcome, and all those English students of mine who are enjoying chess with me as well. Hey, we always have fun, whether that's English or whether it's chess. I'm happy that all of you are here. You're welcome. And now the time to announce the winner. And by the way, I've said there is a lot of history. The chess guys shouldn't wonder, sir, isn't it Pride of Lions? Well, I know it's Pride of Lions, but there is history when I say bunch of lions. Not everybody knows. So anyway, I was saying that the blue arrow is the winner. Congratulations. Let me show it to you on board. There we go. I'm going to play it on Lichess. Let's see if the computer agrees. Yes, it agrees with most of you. Yes, he did go. By the way, if king g4, then I believe it is queen g2 check, then king h4. I don't know. This is getting very tricky. We will calculate that. We will calculate. Guys, what happens if king g4? He went there, but what happens if king g4? Then is it checkmate after rook f4? Here, no, yeah, that's checkmate. Okay, guys. So king g4, I believe rook f5, rook f4 is checkmate. Queen has this h file covered. Now it's simple. Queen takes, and now this square is covered by queen and bishop, and this is checkmate. So congratulations, all of you. It's brilliant. Next one, please. Well, next one is white to play. So I'm going to remove this tag of black to play. Well, there are a lot of pieces, and I'm going to start your countdown immediately. I will see you after a minute. Try to find out the best move for white in this position. White to play, and after, when it comes to under a minute, I'll pull up the chat window. Enjoy the background music until that time. Guys, I beg your pardon, the options. I didn't give you the options. So I hope your answers are ready, but nonetheless, let me complete the formality of options. So is it going to be the green arrow? Should I play the bishop check, which is in the red? Should I go ahead and castle? Or should I just bring my knight to safety? Those are your options. Thanks for bringing it to my notice. And that was brought to my notice by whom? By Samiran Biswas. Thank you so much for bringing it to my notice. In the chat now. Yes, it was Biswas who brought it to my notice that I had not given you the options. And now, I hope your answers were ready, but I just drew the arrows now. So you can now answer with which arrow you like. Seniors, the time is up, right? Okay, seniors can type the answers. Okay, Ankit Banerjee is ready. Queen h5, check. Then he says if there is g6, then bishop takes g6. And king f8, then bishop, bishop f7, queen f7. Yes, queen f7 is checkmate. Vihang has a line with bishop f7 checkmate. I wonder. He says queen h5 check, g6, bishop takes g6, king f8, queen h6 check, king g8, bishop f7 checkmate. Okay, so green arrow. People seem to like the green arrow. Let me tell you what the right answer is. Let me come on cam for that. Well, the correct answer, green arrow, triumph, green arrow, guys. Wonderful calculation. Let me go to our position and actually execute it. Queen h5 check, g6. There is this knight sacrifice. If it takes, we win the rook. So we are going to wow. Let's consider another possibility, guys. Instead of knight takes g6, shouldn't it be bishop takes because of this knight? But yes, king f8. Then queen h6 is made. Whoa, guys, there are a lot of things to calculate here. Let me know. The point is, if we go bishop takes h6, check, and he goes h takes g6, then queen takes g6, king f8, and queen f7 will be checkmate. And after bishop takes g6, if king f8, then queen h6 is checkmate. How many people spotted that? How many people actually spotted that? It's just brilliant. So is it checkmate? You agree bishop takes g6 here? Observe this. Bishop takes, let me use the green because green was the right color for the answer. If king f8, then queen h6 is checkmate. If pawn takes, then queen takes g6. Notice how the knight has got these squares covered. And after king f8, then queen f7 is checkmate. Brilliant. That's, I think, Nijapkar's answer. Brilliant. And h6 here. Notice the checkmate pattern is so beautiful with the bishop and the queen. Just beautiful. And now I suppose the mate is with the bishop f7. And that was Nijapkar's answer. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so next position, please. Now this time I'm going to give you the options. What are the options here? The first one, well, of course, first of all, let me correct it. It is not white to play, it is black to play. So is it the green arrow with a check? Is it the red arrow for the knight take? Is it the golden arrow with the rook take? Is it the blue arrow wanting the exchange? Or is it... No, I've given you all the options. That's it. Enough. I was wondering how many options. You can actually start thinking. Yes, Vihang also did spot the answer. He said bishop takes f7 checkmate. Brilliant. Ankit, I hope you love this because you also spotted that the green arrow was right. Now this one, please. Seniors, wait for the time to come to 0 mark. Hold on to your thoughts. And if you are able to solve this, guys, you should be happy, because look at the rating here, guys. Look at the rating. This was a game where 2100 was playing against 2000. So this is fantastic. Is it under a minute now? Yes. So I will pull up the chat window. So let's see. What are people saying? What are your friends saying here? Green arrow. Another 20 odd seconds. Okay, green arrow by bunch of lions. Green arrow, and then now after, let's say, 7 seconds more, you will have seniors sharing their answers. So seniors, go ahead and do this. Seniors, what is your opinion? Avnish More says the green, but now, okay, so we have the answers. The seniors are saying rook h1 check, king d2, then you have knight f1 check, picking up the rook. Okay, picking up the rook. So it's a fork. Well, you should mention the name of the tactic. There's no doubt about that. You must mention the name of the tactic, guys. Seniors should do that. So there's a fork here. Everybody agrees that it's a fork. Let me go ahead and play that actually in Lichess. There we go. So yes, I agree that the green arrow is right. And now we have this rook check. But if we give this rook check, people who are talking about a fork, if we first give the check, isn't king going to just take our knight? Knight is hanging. So it's immediate knight f1 check, is it not? And now we will pick up the rook. Perfect. Absolutely brilliant. The next one is white to play. And let me give you the options. Let's compare the material. Queen for both, rook for both. But oops, we are an exchange down. So is it going to be the green arrow where I play the knight sacrifice? Is it the golden arrow where I play queen f6 check? Is it the red arrow check with the knight? Or last but not the least, am I going to sacrifice on f7? And I think I should start your countdown now. So people, that particular golden arrow has probably, it's gotten lost because of the superseding blue arrow. This I will, for blue arrow, I have a better plan. I'll show that with a circle so that the golden becomes visible. Let me pull up the chat window. Where is the chat window? Here it is. Okay. So red arrow. Bunch of line is saying red arrow. 4 more seconds we will have then our seniors telling us what they like. Time is up. Seniors, please share your views. Let's see what they got for us, guys. So now we have the answers. They are saying Queen f6 check, King h7, Queen h6 checkmate. Okay, so Jay has got a checkmate for us, and there is Nijapkar who has got checkmate. He's saying he has a different line. Queen f6 check. If King f8, well then knight e6. Knight takes e6 check because the pawn will be pinned. And then he says King d8 checkmate. Queen d8 checkmate. Nijapkar, you mean? Type carefully. So golden arrow, everyone thinks golden arrow. There is Saurish who thinks it's blue arrow, and Shriram is saying he agrees with Jay. All right, the winners. Let me come on cam to tell you that the winners, the golden arrow, guys, golden arrow. Let's find out why is golden arrow so good. Let me actually go ahead and play it on Lichess. The golden arrow is good because after Queen f6 check, notice this pawn is now pinned. Let me use the golden arrow. So this pawn is pinned. So knight takes will be a check. This is just so beautiful. Observe this, those who got it wrong. Knight takes e6 now. The pawn cannot take because of the pin by the queen. And so after knight takes e6 check, the force move is king to e8 and queen d8 will be checkmate with the support of this knight here. And Nijapkar, you meant queen d8. You by mistake you just typed king d8. So let me do it. So knight takes. Now we don't want to take the rook. We are getting the rook. It was a fork, but we don't want to take that because now queen d8 is just checkmate. Notice this beautiful pattern, guys. I'm sure you loved this pattern. This is amazing. It's checkmate. Next one, this one is white to play. Look at the material here. Both have got queens, both have got 2 rooks, both have got a minor piece. Wonderful. And 5 pawns to 6 pawns. So we are a pawn down here. We have 5 pawns. Our opponent has 6 pawns. We are a pawn down here, but the king's position. So what are the options? Let me give you good options here. So am I going to play the green arrow? Am I going to play the blue arrow? Am I going to make a sacrifice? Or am I going to play knight takes pawn check? Interesting. Your time starts. We'll see you in about 50 seconds. Okay, it is now under a minute. Time for us to pull up the chat window. There you go. So golden arrow, a bunch of lions, green, blue. We have all colors. Are we establishing a rainbow here? Wait for the seniors to finish it off in style. Yatharth has typed golden in all capital. So he is shouting golden. My word. Is it gold really? Seniors will share their opinion in about 10 seconds now. Okay, so what do the seniors think? Seniors, kindly share your thoughts. Nijapkar is the first. He says, what arrow? Blue arrow. Guys, you got to tell me the arrow as well. He says, queen f4, check, king, he says king g8, and queen takes e4, winning the bishop. It's a fork. Okay, Atharva Prabhu also agrees it's a fork. What does Vihang think? Is it just a simple fork with a blue arrow, Vihang? What are the other guys saying? Is Rudra Mukadam with us? Vihang also agrees, the blue. Jai also says blue. Okay, time for me to come on the cam to tell you the winner. The blue arrow. The winner is the blue arrow. 100% blue arrow. It's a fork. And by the way, the pronunciation is not blue. Blue is B-L-E-W. Blue. Okay, like the wind, blue. Blue. Okay, B-L-U-E, blue. And let me go on leeches to actually play that. So yes, the correct answer is blue. And I'm going to pick up. Is there a checkmate? No. I'm going to pick up the piece. The next one is again white to play. Position please. Both have got queens and a minor piece. We have 4 pawns. Our opponent has got 5. Again, a situation where we are a pawn down. So are we going to do the exchange? Am I going to give a check? Am I going to play this queen a5 check? Or am I just going to play the pawn supporting the queen? So now you have to start your calculation. What is it, guys? What is it? You have to think. What is it that is in your mind, guys? It is under a minute. Let me pull up the chat. This is what your friends are saying. Well, Yatharth is saying R, G, B, Y, everything. So my question is, why not Vigbjor then? I hope you know what Vigbjor is. Pratik is saying red arrow wins, sir. Yes, yes, Shriram, you can type the whole line. Go ahead, Shriram, type the whole line, no problem. Seniors will do that in 10 seconds now. Seniors, I hope you are ready with your answer. Rudra, you should wait for the time to come to 0, which it has indeed hit right now. So what are the seniors saying? What is the color of the arrow, Rudra Mukadam? He's saying golden arrow. Queen f5 check. Then there is king b8. I believe it's forced. Am I right? It's forced. Then you have queen b6 check. Then you have king a8 and queen b7 is checkmate. Jai has also probably calculated that correctly. Okay, so the golden arrow is indeed right and bunch of lions got it right. Magnificent work. Very good. My English students are getting correct, stuff in chess also correct. Great. So let me now tell you, the winner is indeed yellow. Sorry, golden. You can call that yellow, whatever, golden. Okay. So why is that? Because it's forced checkmate. Well, the winner, the beginner level students should try to understand this checkmate. It is so beautiful. Let me execute that. So first it's this check, and bishop and queen had given no scope for the king to move. And now the bishop is controlled. Let me use the golden color, please. Yeah. So now the bishop has stopped the escape routes. So now queen b6 check will mean that this is the only square for the king, and now queen b7 will be checkmate. Absolutely brilliant, and congratulations, guys. Let's go ahead and deal with the next one. It is still white to play. It's white to play. What happened there? I want this white to play here. And I want black to play below that. But this one is definitely white to play. Okay, so white to play it is. Let's compare the material. Two rooks, two minor piece, and black has 3 minor pieces. Okay, so there is the difference. But it is white to play, of course. So there is something very meaningful here that we can do. So, is it knight h6? Is it rook takes g7? Is it knight e7 check? Or is it rook g3, doubling of the rooks? And your time starts now. Under a minute and I'll pull up the chat. This is interesting, guys. I'm sure the juniors will struggle with this. Well, you can say gold, yellow, whatever it is. Mention the color, guys. Mention the color. Seniors, keep your answer ready. This one is very nice. Shriram is saying, I believe he's saying, what color arrow, Shriram? I think it's golden. Rook takes g7. Please type correctly. And also mention the color of the arrow, please. Seniors, the time is up. So, hmm, the correct answer is 97 check. So red arrow, or everybody's saying red arrow. And this checkmate pattern is very interesting and the seniors have spotted it correctly. But not one senior, let me come on cam, to tell you this. Not one senior has mentioned the checkmate pattern. There is a name for this pattern. We have done this at our hub. So yes, you found out the answer. But what about the name, guys? Share the name. There is this checkmate, but then there is a name for this pattern. So what is the name for this pattern? It is the Arabian, the rook and knight mate. Remember that. So yes, the correct answer is red indeed. Let me go to leeches and execute it. What happens is, I'm going to use the red one. After knight e7 check, king h8 is forced, it's a knight check. And then you make a sacrifice on h7, and when the king actually takes, no other choice, then you have rook h4 check, knight blocks it, and then it's mate. I wonder if seniors did type that knight blocking the check. Yes, they did. Arabian, that's correct. Okay, so look at that. So red arrow, and then you make this. Oh, let me use the red one. This is a lovely sacrifice, and then you have this knight covering this g8 and g6 square. Look at how beautiful our knight is. You give this check. There is no other option but to play this move. Of course, this knight is hanging. We'll just take that, and it's checkmate. What a lovely pattern. Absolutely brilliant. This is really nice. Okay, time to go to the next one. This is again white to play. Time to compare what is the material position. Black has two rooks. We have a rook and a bishop, so we are an exchange down. But the advantage we have is the passer. Okay, so your options. Do we play the pawn advance? Do we play the rookie one, trying to set up a mate on e8? Do we play the move? Well, I'll show the red one with the red circle because I want to make a move with the golden here. Or do we actually bring this bishop back to e3? Should let me know what you think. Your time starts now. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so under a minute and I'm going to pull up the chat window. So people are saying green arrow. People, a bunch of lions, you're saying golden arrow. Well, what's up? Seniors, I hope your answers are ready. So far, we have got a lot of votes for green and golden. Another 25 odd seconds before seniors can pitch in. Yatharth Shinde is saying green arrow. He wants to push the pawn and maybe push one more time to get a queen. Avnish More also says green. Now what do the seniors say? So seniors are saying, what are they saying? Let me pull up the chat window for myself to see it. Yeah, Nijapkar is the first one. Rook D1. So the color of the arrow, please mention that. Golden. And what is the, is it a mating net? So the point is that the seniors guys are saying that the checkmate is unstoppable. That's what they're saying. Saurish is saying green arrow. The problem with the green arrow, let me come on cam to share this. This is going to be interesting. The problem with the green arrow, guys, is that you think that you'll push the pawn and it will queen, but after you play a7, he has king b7. So he will not let you queen immediately. Let me go on the board and actually show you. What I am trying to say is, of course, the winner is the golden arrow. Come on, everybody got it. Except for a few people who are anxious to promote the pawn. Let me actually, yeah, show you. The thing is, guys, if you execute this green arrow, then he can play king b7, and then there is clear way of stopping the pawn immediately, at least from promotion. Well, what happens with the golden arrow with rook d1 is that with the bishop support, this is checkmate. So this is clearly the winning strategy. I'm actually going to play that. The best move. So he has sacrificed the rook. I'm going to take that. Now we can, of course, have to hide somewhere. So let's go probably, we are going to probably have to go to g1 maybe. Maybe g1, g2 doesn't really matter, but yeah. And I hide one more time so that there is no check. Now he has sacrificed, let me use the golden one since that was correct. So I'm going to take the rook, it's hanging. And now, how should we continue? Did the senior spot this move? Yes, they spotted c5. And now still rook d8 is checkmate. I'm glad they spotted this pawn move that he has. Wonderful indeed. And now I think it is time for us to stop. Let me know if you really enjoyed this. Well, or wait. Let me take an opinion poll today. I want to take an opinion poll. How many of you actually want a game played and have the time to continue till 9 o'clock? So another 25 minutes. Can we play a 5+3 game here? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to pull up the chat window. Can we play a 5+3 game and take this to 9 o'clock? Let me know. How many people will be with us? So can we go ahead and stick till 9 and play one more game? Jay is in. Yatharth has to go. Well, Sagar says okay. Of course, I have no time to play a long game. I can play 5+3. We will play that. Well, those who want to leave, they can. You have my permission because we have done enough. But those who can, well, stick around. We will play till 9. That's another 25 odd minutes from now. Keep your chat going on until I set up the board, the size and the texture. I want the green board. We will arrange everything. I will have to log in. Keep your chat going until that time. Okay, guys, just bear with me. I'm just adjusting the settings for our game because clearly everyone is interested in the game. So let me just get all the screens and the windows and arrange them in a way that you'll be able to see everything very clearly. Let me also bring the board coordinates, the ABCD. Those who wish to leave may leave. You have my permission, guys. Okay, I suppose now we are back on track. Well, this is a game, of course, that I just got to get the settings right. 5 plus 3 game is what we are. Well, let's play a 3 plus 2 game. That's also interesting. Now here this is a quick game, so we will not have a lot of time to talk through. I'm going to go with the Alaka in defense. He is not taking it, so I am challenging this pawn twice now. He's taken it, I'm going to take it. If he takes it, I'm going to take it. He has not, so I've set a trap now. There is this trap. If he doesn't know, he'll fall for it. Knight takes, no, he knew that. Okay, I'm going to still take it because he's now got to take it with this one. I like that. And now I'm going to exchange the bishop as well. And now I have a pawn in the center. The bishop can be activated. Getting ready to castle. I'm not really worried about this. I'm controlling d4 enough number of times, I suppose. So now time for me to probably go d3 all the way. I'm interested in doing that. I'm going to double up, pile up everything I have on the d5. Well, guys, this is a quick game. So we don't have a lot of time to discuss everything, but have fun. I'm sure you'll have fun. Now our opponent is thinking here because we have taken up a good square here. This is a nice place for us to be. And he doesn't have a light color bishop, so I'm just tempted to go for f4. And if he challenges the queen, I'm not going to take. I'm going to play rook a d8. Rook a to d8. I'm going to keep the pressure going on this d3. I like the way we are expanding on the king side. Looks good. Our opponent has played the bishop back. I don't know what is the logic behind that, but I am going to challenge the knight. And now we can play this move. Ooh, that is really good move. Busting open the king. Should I take anyway? Yes, I should. The king will be exposed. Well, he has not done that. And now I suppose we have a fork here. Do you spot that? We have bishop takes f2 check, winning the rook. We have the support of this rook here. Okay, our opponent is again 1917. So we have a high quality opponent, not that I'm choosing someone weak to play. So please appreciate this, that our opponent is just as high as we are. We are 1949 and he is 1917. Okay, so I guess he has allowed us that capture, but I think he has allowed us this check as well. Oh, this check looks good. Can he block the check with the knight? With the rook support, yes. Oh, I was so happy with this check for a moment, but we will take the rook. The queen takes and we have queen f3 now. Well, I like that. Queen f3 check is good. We even can double up here, to be honest. You know what? Let's do that. I'm in no hurry. I have the support of the queen. I'm in no hurry. I'm going to double up and then go for a vicious checkmate or something. His pieces are so ineffective here. Look at the rook. Look at the bishop. Ineffective. Now he wants the exchange. I am sorry. Do you have an exchange here? Can I go for an intermediate move of a check here? I am winning the queen, guys. Because knight is the only supporter of the queen. Enjoy this, guys. Knight is the only supporter of the queen. So when I take it with the rook, it will be a check. And then I will get his queen. Did you understand that? That's a beautiful way. So we are actually winning the queen here. Rook takes g3 will be a check. The king cannot take it. And we will grab the queen. Beautiful indeed. Observe this, guys. It's a check and we are winning the queen here. Our opponent can easily resign now. But no, our opponents today have been playing. Now once again, I would like to show you the same strategy of bringing the rook to f-file. Remember the last game? It's such an effective strategy. Let me just do, and look at these pieces. What role do they play? Tell me. That's why piece activity is important. Don't worry about 30 seconds. This is a plus 2 second incremental game. So we have got plus 2. And now he is just offering easy checkmate. I think he is. Because my first plan will be to give a check. Yeah. I want to make the rook active. So I am going to play check. King here. Rook here. The checkmate should be very soon. Check. Force move. Well, and now what are the ways to finish? Let me do this check. And now checkmate. This is wonderful. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. We have agreed to stick till 9 o'clock. So we should go for one more game. I'm sure you enjoyed this. Please make sure that... Yeah, we got 5 rating points. So we are now 1954. Please keep your chat going for a while until I get ready for a game. Bear with me for a minute. All right, can we find a new opponent now? We will try to again play a game. Let's see what we have here. So this time we are playing a 5-minute game, guys, but this is without a without an incremental time control. So 5 plus 0. I want you to pay attention here. 5 plus 0. So we better play this properly because we are not going to get any incremental time control. So both are attacking the knights. If he takes, I am going to take. If he moves, I will move. If he takes, I will take. Simple strategy in progress here. I'm attacking his knight, by the way. And I'm attacking his knight one more time. Oh, well, I suppose now I'm going to give a check. It's a check here, guys. And I'm unpinning this. Probably he would castle. No, he has not done that. We will probably castle long. Can we really do that? Let's go ahead, make this exchange happen. Is he going to lock us out? Let's do this. Let us play this. We are giving a b7. Our rooks are connected. Whoa, that was not great at all. But we have just a move to save ourselves. Now, if the queen takes, we will take. So that's why he didn't do that. And now we can safely play. Okay. This is nice. How nicely we saved the bishop. I like that. Okay. What's up? So we have now got to play this f4 move. He has played it himself, which is quite extraordinary. You want to push this pawn. Whoa! That was bad move. We just gave our rook. Yes! Very bad. Guys, that shows that it is time to end the session because a lot of blunders are happening. I'm waiting for him to take the pawn. He did not take the pawn. Very bad. I was hoping that he will kind of take it because then I had bishop takes and winning the queen kind of deal. So he is plus 8. That is just too much. Plus 8. Plus 8 is really too much. Shows that it has been a long, tiring session. We have been together for 2 hours now, guys. 2 hours. That's important. Now at least he has no checks. I do, by the way. So he has just stopped the one check I had. Yeah, I like that. Appreciate. Okay, let's push this. Long-term strategy. He has again no checks. He's playing with fire here. Okay. Is he going for a draw? No, he spinned it. Oh, no, that's not what you want. Now he's totally winning, and I think I'm going to resign here. Yes, I am going to resign. Wonderful indeed. But we can go for one last game, and I will play bullets. So let me play with 1 minute time control. 1 minute time control, guys. Let's see who we get. 1961 is our opponent. It's a bullet game. We have 1 minute only. Well, well, well. Whoa, this is bad. Wonderful, brilliantly well played. Our opponent was good. We'll play a rematch. No, he's gone. Okay, the mind is tiring. 2 hours. It shows, guys. This shows how powerful the mind is. Played for 2 hours. No joke. Okay, should I? I should. This was something that I had to watch out for, guys. Something that I clearly should have thought about, but I didn't. Okay, now what do we do here? He wants to double up. Now he's just munching upon our pawns. Nah, he's gonna win. Made in 2 moves here. Correct. Alright, one more, but this time we'll go for longer time control. Clearly, the thinking is not right. Let us play final 2 plus 0 game. This is the final game, and after this we will stop. Okay, 2 minute game, one final game, guys. 2 minute games. All right, this is looking good. Again, one thing is for sure, guys. Every time we have played, we have been getting and playing with good opponents. I like that. That's his ID, not a computer. Nice observation, Jay. Okay, we are looking for a fork here. Making a point. What did he play last? I missed that. He just played this knight here. Oh, to stop this. Okay. He just gave the pawn, right? Well, he just gave his pawn, I suppose. I'm gonna put the rook here. Now, in some lines, there is a sacrifice here. In some lines. Okay, so I am definitely tempted to make this sacrifice here. First, this rook, smash open and go for checkmate. Or 36 seconds, my god, we've got to do something fast. Let's put this perfectly in a battery. Now my threat is to win the pawn. His position is so cramped. So cramped. Threatening this. We are a piece up here, threatening check. Okay, you're winning. Well, not. Let's not do that. Still threatening. Still will do that. Still will do this. Then we'll pick up. Okay, so this is actually not good for him. Okay, so now I have a check. Let's just checkmate. Oh no, we have 4 seconds. Do we go for a stalemate? Is there any scope of that happening? No, oh, just tiring. We were winning this actually, but then the point is, as I've said, we have spent 2 hours in chess, and that's enough for the day. A lot of stuff has been going on. It was a great session. I'm sure you enjoyed it. And towards the end, of course, we weren't performing all that great for the last 3 games, but otherwise, it was a cracking session. So we will stop for now. Hope you enjoyed. We will meet tomorrow for a game session at 6 IST, Indian Standard Time. Up until that time, take care, stay home, stay safe,